At first glance, this is just an ordinary street. But in reality, this is Koderma's mica trading hub. Behind each door, there is a trader.
Almost all of my mica comes from him. He's my main supplier.
SANDEEP cuts the mica pieces himself to sell them to a company that produces heating rods in New Delhi.
He does everything himself because then there is no need for a lot of manpower. I can sell him 1 bag, 10 bags, 10 kilos, 20 kilos, 50 kilos, it depends.
SANDEEP is one of Raju's smaller clients. Ordinarily, Raju exports much of his merchandise internationally. He agrees to take us around his processing plant, where he employs nearly 50 people.
The pieces you see there are going to be ground in a machine and then exported. Most of it goes to China, but a part of it is also for the Indian market.
In China, this mica will be sold to large cosmetics or automobile companies. But for several years now, the mica industry has been accused of employing children.
There are no children in this industry. But then again, we don't go and check in the forest where people say they work. But now there are schools everywhere. All the kids go to school.
Appallingly, every single mica mine in India operates illegally after the government ordered their closure in the 80s to limit deforestation.
In this context, the whole sector is operating like the mafia. That's what we call those who succeed here. There are many mines here, but nothing is illegal. No one is outside the law. People will look for mica between half a meter and 1.80 meters under the ground. That's it.
Just a few kilometers away, the reality is different.
Because there's gas inside, it's difficult to breathe. That's why there are 2 entrances to get oxygen and breathe. You need a draft of air.
This mine, built in the colonial era, is completely illegal today.
The mine has continued to be used since the British left. Anyone can go there. It belongs to those who use it.
GANESH and PRATEEK are self-proclaimed owners of this mine. In their village, not far from the mine, they proudly show us their mica reserves.
Once our mica is sold to the factory, we have no idea what they're doing with it. We really don't.
Like most miners, they sell it to a factory, but they won't divulge the names of their customers.
99% of our village depends on mica. It allows us to feed ourselves.
It's the only source of employment here for the whole village.
Here, everyone insists that there are no children involved in the collection of the mineral. But just outside the village, a group of young girls are hard at work. Among them is 10-year-old BIJLI.
Normally, I start at 7 a.m. and finish at 6 in the evening. Yes, since I was 5 years old, sometimes I feel really tired.
If she went to school, what would she eat? She has other family members to feed, and our father can no longer work. So it's up to us.
Rinki is the oldest in the group and looks after the younger ones.
There are many dangerous places. To survive, you have to go there. You have no choice. And sometimes people die in these places. There is no way to know if we are going to die or not.
Every month in Jharkhand, a dozen children die while mining mica. This has prompted several brands, such as L'Oreal, to form the Responsible Mica Initiative. In the villages, one of the objectives of this international collective is to help children go back to school. Encouraged to dream of a better future, 16-year-old ANITA has just won a scholarship.
We don't have alternative work to cover our daily expenses. We only have mica. So one day my brother asked me why I wanted to study, because we already couldn't even pay for our food. So how could we pay for my education? So I left school.
The companies want to offer young people alternatives, but always with an eye on the business.
Suppose today the company stops, sourcing mica. What would be the livelihood of these 300,000 people who are working in this area? What are the alternative livelihoods?
By supporting these children, the Responsible Mica Initiative hopes to keep them away from mining for good by 2022.